Here in the Seattle Metro, the market is on stupid fire. Stupid fire is a technical term. And what it means is it's stupid next to a fire. So
The worst.
if you ever, like me as a young adult, drank near a very large bonfire and people were stumbling around next to it and someone may or may not have thrown flammable liquid, that's stupid fire. And it's being stupid near the fire. Yeah. It's all the same. But the idea, real simple, is this, is like the market was deader than a doornail. And then interest rates dropped. And as interest rates dropped, that spurred that buyer activity. And as the Fed stopped raising interest rates, it spurred that buyer activity. It gave that buyer confidence. Inventory throughout the whole Seattle Metro went down. Sales went up. Appreciation throughout the whole Metro has already started. Depending on where you're looking, you were seeing January versus January between 4 to 7% appreciation month over month. Now, that's not a trend, but when January starts and it's going, and it's like getting ready to take off, that it's the start of a good trend. So I pulled Monday morning on 2.5, the NWMLS stat, right off of, they have this little market watch. And the NWMLS covers 80% of Washington state. So in the last 7 days from February 5th, there was 1,203 new listings and 1,843 went pending in that 7-day time period. That's the exact example of on stupid fire. Yeah. As inventory came on, more inventory left the market. So inventory is leaving the market faster than it's coming on. Generally speaking, as you leave the winter heading in towards spring, inventory rises a little bit because the weather gets nicer and more people list their home. But because of this pent-up demand. So 1, the spring market is showing up early. 2, there is pent-up demand sitting on the sidelines that wants to buy real estate. And it's not just homes, it's condos, it's land, it's investment properties, it's good commercial and small commercial. What was also interesting during that same time period, 563 reduced their price. And you go, wait a second, the market's really hot. Why'd they have to reduce their price? They were overpriced to begin with. Yep. And the market constantly rejects this notion. So you'll hear the seller say something like this, well, I want to price it high, so I've got room to negotiate. Throughout the Seattle Metro, everything sells within less than 2% of the list price. So if you're simply 5% above market value, you don't sell even in this hot of a market that's on stupid fire. It looks like the market will continue to heat up throughout 2024. We know the Federal Reserve is going to lower interest rates this year. And as interest rates come down, the amount a buyer qualifies goes up, which will increase demand throughout the year. The rule of thumb is every 1% change in interest rates allows a buyer to qualify for 10% more. I hate saying this. I expect 6 to 8% appreciation. And if rates come down a bunch, you could see 10. The reason I say I don't like that, I am a very long-term vision type of person. I'm a futurist and I'm a maximizer of assets and opportunities. I will take slow, consistent, long-term sustainable growth versus high ups like this. And then the next thing, someone's going to put this in the comments, but Anton, the market's going to crash. No one can afford this, blah, 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 blah. It's supply and demand.
Yep.
It's a simple economics. We, here throughout the Seattle Metro, we have not built enough homes to keep up with supply. Throughout most of the United States, we have not built enough homes to keep up with supply. 2024 will be better than 2023 in sales. Expect to see 10 to maybe as much as 15% more transactions happen this year. There's going to be bidding wars around anything that's around the median price in the area. So if the median price, in Snohomish County, for example, is, $741,000. So anything that's basically 900 and below is probably going to get a bidding war. Now, if I go up to 2 million, unless it's in a really hot area, that won't necessarily have a bidding war. But we've been seeing bidding wars on everything that's priced correctly. Expect rents to be very flat this year. We've even seen some rents go down. There's some numbers that's been showing that nationally rents have gone down between 2 to 4%. I would say we really felt that here in the Seattle Metro. I'm saying rents are going to be flat because I think later on this year. Like it's going to go down for the first few months, and then at the end of the latter part of the year, it's going to go up as that kind of rent supply and demand starts balancing. Expect rent appreciation in 2025, 2026. Expect a natural slowdown to happen around the presidential election. It doesn't matter to me if you're Democrat. It doesn't matter to me if you're Republican, independent, libertarian, pink fluffy unicorn party. This is just a fact. A presidential election causes uncertainty. And when FUD, fear, uncertainty, and doubt show up, the consumer simply slows down and holds back. So later on this year, the market will become a wild card for sellers. So if you're thinking, I want to wait, I want to bet now and go now while I know exactly what's happening and while the getting's good, because later this year, and traditionally speaking around presidential elections, the market slows down because of that, both on the buy side and the sell side. PS investors, that also may be a great opportunity to purchase.
Great deal.
Great deals. I did get a text from a good friend last night. It was like, I am listening. I will be in a position by third quarter this year. I will be ready.
That's awesome.
And I was like, is your cash ready? He goes, it will be. And things are getting rented and this is getting done. So we'll be ready to rock and roll. I said, let's go. All of the above is going to create opportunities for deals. That's the whole thing. It doesn't matter if the market's up, down, or sideways. There's always an opportunity. And the massive opportunity here in the Seattle Metro is going to be in these areas: land development, new construction specifically, single family, townhome, and dadus.